At the onset for pretty much everyone, it begins by experiencing who I am through the conditioned imprint, which means that who I am is defined by the body. The experience is living behind the eyes. But what becomes apparent is that there is something that is aware of the body. In fact, if there was not something aware of the body, there would be no body awareness. So there is something in this moment that is aware of what is called my body. It is first simply a noticing, and then what is possible is to feel that which is aware of the body. What is discovered when there is the simple feeling of that which is aware is that this is the only thing that is not an object and not away from. It is the feeling of that which is not away from, yet is aware. It is the feeling of what is everywhere, but is aware of all of the objects that appear to be in location. Initially, the primary focus is on the body that has been habitually believed to be the limitation of who I am. The opportunity throughout the typical day, not only in meditation practice, but throughout the day, is simply shifting the gaze from the conditioned habit of experiencing life through a point of reference to noticing what is aware of that reference point, which in fact is referenceless. What is discovered is that opposed to this experience that I am the body, what is discovered is I am aware of the body. That the body appears within this awareness. And when there is a consistent self-reminding mechanism to simply feel what is aware, what is recognized as the body by itself begins to slow down. The mind on its own begins to slow down. Conversation occurs, but words are not wasted. And when conversation is happening and you are resting in what is aware of the body, instead of falling into the habit of existing as a separate reference point, what occurs is this realization that it is just doing itself. There is no experience of doing. there is the taste of that which is aware, which is unchanging, which is eternal. And then there is the appearance of the body. And every time the body experiences I am the doer, it becomes obvious that the connection with that which is aware has been broken. And then it shifts back to the old paradigm, the habit. And then when that habit is used as a self-reminding mechanism, and there is simply the shift of attention, noticing what is aware. Then you feel yourself everywhere, as opposed to defined as something finite and separate. And then it is very natural to look to see, well, what is this body that has seemed so clearly to be the limit of who I am? Not from inside the experience of the separate doer, which occurs only when the connection with the awareness that is aware of the body is broken, but from that which is truly present, which is the awareness itself. From that which is centerless, locationless, felt equally everywhere, to look and see what is this body. What becomes clear very quickly is that there is a confluence of the arising of sensation, thought, emotion, speaking a preconditioned story that this is who I am. Yet if you are really resting in what is aware, it becomes very clear that all of that is just happening. It is not possible to find the chooser. If there is a delving into from where the choice is coming, what is revealed is what is now, and what is now is that which is aware. And the experience of doership vanishes, and the experience of a focal reference point vanishes with it. And then the nature of the conditioning is that it continues to come up. What is it that comes up? The experience of sensation, the experience of emotion, the experience of thought. But out of that which is unchanging, the awareness of your being, it becomes very obvious that all of that is just appearing. If you feel into from where it is coming, from where are these sensations coming? From where is this thought coming? From where are these emotions coming? It is like feeling into the origin of a dream. You can track a dream back But if you come to what is called the origin, what happens is the dream vanishes because it is a dream. It just disappears. It does not arise out of something. It is the projection of mind. So if it is carried back all the way, it disappears, and only you remain. This works exactly the same way. If there is a tracking from where thought comes, it is impossible to find some entity that is choosing and creating. If you go to the source, what you discover is what the mind cannot describe. What is eternally present, that which is aware. The feeling of it is the feeling of being, the feeling of that which is not away from, the feeling of that which is everywhere. What begins to occur when this is worked on a regular basis is that the eternal, untouched nature of the pure light of love and peace is recognized to be the only thing that has ever existed now. What eventually is discovered is that your nature is that which is aware. It is experienced that I am the body the moment that relationship falls away due to the distractive habits of conditioned mind, which pull attention away from what eternally is, which is awareness that is always aware of everything playing. And it is like this omnipresent awareness gets contracted into this focal reference point, and then sensation, emotion, and thought come in and define this subjective reality of time that is called karma. But what is aware of karma, what is aware of the body, what is aware of everything that appears to change is unchanging, eternal, always now, the only thing that is not an object that is away from me. So every time the experience of doership or the experience that I am the body appears, the possibility is to use that as a self-reminding mechanism. That there has been the falling away from the nature of your very existence, the only thing that is not away from you, the only thing that is not a thing, but is the feeling that is closer than the breath of the body. And then all of the angst that the body was carrying relaxes, because the body's job is it is a reflection of the state of awareness. And when you are resting in the purity that is your nature, body relaxes, it slows down, it loses the experience of being separate, and what animates it is pure divinity. The force is the force of pure love. There is no longer a sense of being locked inside a prison called the body, which experience itself as being separate from everything else. But that which is aware of the body and aware of everything and eternally present and not away from is felt in the heart of your being. And then the whole play morphs, and all of the characters appearing within this feeling of your being all of a sudden begin reflecting love and connectedness and harmony, as opposed to the conditioned imprint of karma, the imprint that arose out of the experience of being separate. Living where you live, living in the moment. You have only lived in the moment. You have never lived in a past or a future. But most people spend their lives in an imaginary world that is called the past, that is creation of mind, that brings forth the experience of a focal point of reference labeled as me, that projects into the future and experiences life as linear time. But you are always aware. Your awareness is always now. As soon as you feel the awareness, there is a breaking out of this appearance that only appears when you are disconnected with what is now, what is real, yourself, that which is aware. And immediately the play transforms into a reflection of pure harmony and love and beauty. And the moment there is forgetting, the play shifts again into the play of separation, the play of karma, the forces which teach the experience of the individual all of the reasons why it is necessary to protect myself. So long as anything from the character's perspective, from the experience of karma, from the experience of being separate, so long as that takes precedence over the eternal light and love that is your nature, freedom will remain elusive. When there is nothing in the deceptive movie show that arises and is experienced as reality only when you have lost touch with what is present eternally now, is not let go of, or the intention to not let go of it at any cost, no matter what the story is, then your free eternal nature is revealed because it is reality. And there lies the whole game of it. Using the play of time as a self-reminding mechanism, using the feeling that I am the body as a self-reminding mechanism that there has been a loss of touch with awareness that is eternally aware in the moment, and when felt is recognized to be the only thing that is not away from me. And as soon as that is felt, the experience that I am defined in a point of reference in a period of time abolishes of itself. And the true harmony and wisdom that is animating everything is felt within the heart as the beauty that the offering has always been. There is such a wisdom to it. The deeper the taste, the stronger the hunger, because gradually the beauty reveals itself more and more. The stronger the hunger, the greater the willingness to compromise the mind's ideas of what it says are important to this phantom, which is this temporary appearance called me by the mind, that feels 100% real when you have let go of reality, which is eternally present now. And every time reality, which is present now, is tasted, the experience of being the limited point of reference evaporates, the wholeness and beauty is tasted, recognized to be the only thing that is not away from, recognize that my existence has always only existed now, that there has never been me existing in a past. There is an imprint called memory, creation of mind, creating the story of the past, the creation of identity, the experience of a point of reference, the experience of linear time, the experience of doing, and a constant force built upon survival. And then there is the grace of the possibility of remembering, and just the simple release of the habit of tension and the feeling of yourself, the wholeness the character has always searched for. And every time it is tasted, it becomes a little sweeter, a little more alive. The beauty is revealed a little more. The greater there is the willingness to let go of what the conditioned mind says I have to do, the more beauty is revealed. Until there is this seeing that everything my mind thought was important, in truth, was always irrelevant. The more important the conditioned mind says it is, the deeper the opportunity of the release of what creates the experience of living in a box. And then there is the discovery of what is truly important. The only thing that remains throughout and beyond the illusion of time. All of these things that the mind says are so important, how important will they be in 2,000 years? This is how you discover how important they really are. But your nature is boundless. It is pure harmony. It is drenched in light and love. It is more beautiful than the mind-body can even begin to comprehend. And it lies waiting, always in reality, which is this moment alone. and it is aware. It is aware of the body. It is aware of all the bodies. It is aware of thought. It is aware of sensation. It is aware of emotion. And from this wisdom, if there is the feeling into where all of this comes from, it will all dissolve. Just like the origin of a dream. When the habit of experiencing myself as a point of reference defined by body is freed, and you discover yourself to have always not been contained by anything. When you discover that in fact your existence, your nature is everywhere, but it is not a thing, it is not an object, so it is not something the mind can find, but it is eternally present now, and it is pure joy and love. What is it that can stain you when the habit of living in a point of reference is finished? How significant are all of these things that seem significant when you discover, not discover as in mentally discover, but realize your eternal nature, that you are eternity, that time is illusory. Then how significant are all of the things that the common person distracts their life away being involved with? It is impossible for mind to really understand the content of what is being offered, because it is not in the realm of time. It is not in the realm of mind. It is not in the realm of content. But something underneath the content can feel a reality, a beauty that is recognized to have always been the longing. When this attention is placed between things that my mind says I must do, it will always remain elusive. There is nothing mysterious about it. But in this wisdom, the deeper the taste, the greater the hunger, the greater the hunger, the greater the willingness to let go of the habits of distraction built on mental conditioned fear of the survival of the prison cell, which is the experience of someone separate. If true freedom from conditioning, true freedom were not possible for you, you would not be having this dream. When you are dreaming at night, it comes out of you. It is a reflection of your state of conscious awareness. When you are present with yourself, you feel yourself everywhere. When you feel yourself everywhere, there is the recognition that all of this is appearing within that feeling, just like the dream appearing within you. If you carry the phenomena back to its source, it disappears, just like a dream. What begins to be seen is that it is all a representation of the state of the mind, or the state of my conscious awareness. You cannot have a dream at night that is not in relationship with the state of your awareness. You cannot have a dream of the possibility of breaking free if there is not that kernel of possibility within inside you. Where do you live? You live here. Wherever it may appear, you are always here. How can you ever not be here? You are always here. It is not moving. Here is here. The scenery moves, but you are here. Here does not move. The scenery is what appears to move. What is here is always now. You only live now. How can you live other than now? Now is not in an imprint or a story of a future or an imprint of a story of the past. Now is now. Now is here. Here is unmoving. Now is eternal. It is breaking free of the hypnotic trance of someone separate that is constantly striving to survive. And this symbol, this image that the mind sees as someone, it will do anything. It is the nature of the kindness and the love that is discovered to be no separate body at all. But when the imprint of separation is abolished, what drives the movement is pure passion and compassion. Thus it will be moved in any way possible to open the potential for you. Yet it is all reflective. It is your own dream. If the relationship is lukewarm, then the reflection reflects that the doorway is actually lukewarm in relationship with you. If nothing can stop you, Then the gates swing wide open, and that in the dream which is reflective of what has stepped through the gate is recognized to live only for you. And as there is this opening, as the gates open, the sense that there really is no separation begins to be felt more deeply. Like Judy, I can feel something so different than the last time. I can feel the passion coming alive. I can feel the pull coming alive. I can feel the gates opening. When the gates open, what has experienced that which is separating you and I, it dissolves. Eventually, you cannot separate yourself from myself, and then eventually it leads to not being able to separate yourself from anything.